Hi there, welcome to Tim and Nick Chats. As is our tradition, I flip a coin, my wife will call it heads or tails, and we'll see who asks the first question of today. I missed it. So,
I'm going to go tails. So, what's this shit?
male domination.
That's not happening.
Arm. I'm feeling intimidated and belittled.
As you should.
Thank you. My self-esteem is plunging. And what is it, dear?
That's a funky coin. It's tails.
Darn it. You go first.
So I asked the first question.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been off work for a couple weeks now. And last week we had our first official fight since you've been home. So my question today is...
Cut.
No cut. No cut.
Okay.
We're going on. My question today is, what do you think came out of that fight? Because I'm always the person who really tries to focus on the negative as being like what positive comes out of it. So now looking back and, with a little bit of hindsight, what do you think was the benefits of our little spat?
Interesting. Okay. I think once again our communication improved. I was letting a lot of things build up, and I wasn't letting some true emotions about how I felt after losing a position for 35 years. It's a long time. And I was just kind of going with the flow, and then when there was some outside factors that were encouraging me to get right back into it, that's what kind of spurred our conversation / fight. It was tough because it wasn't about the job or being out of work or any of that, but it was about the fact that during the conversation I had hurt you. So I think we both came to realize how deeply we care for each other, and that you've got to keep communicating so that there just aren't any hidden signals or people not doing what they should communicate or feel or just let out. Generally, I wasn't letting enough out, and I certainly wasn't communicating enough because I was just being the stoic macho man who wasn't going to let anything happen to him, and things broke down that day.
A little bit.
That did. So yeah, that's my answer.
That's a good answer. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, today is our oldest son's birthday.
Yes, it is.
Corey's 22.
Yes.
And what I think would be beneficial, because I did travel so much during my work, you raised two boys, kind of with an absentee dad, gone Monday through Friday for the most part. And you even helped me coach Little League for both of them and had a better record than I did. Which
I did.
Still, aggravates me to this day. But my question for you, too, is what kind of advice would you give to young moms who have kids and they're staying at home and trying to work part-time, plus the dad's gone, that Monday through Friday piece that I was? You did an excellent job. So I thought, share it with some young moms.
Well, that's a great question. People would always say to me, how do you do it? Because Tim was gone Monday through Friday, and I was home alone, except for on the weekends. So he's kind of a weekend dad. So it's like, how do you do that? That must be so awful. And I said, well, part of it is perspective. Because I always thought to myself, I'm not one of those military moms where my husband's gone 6 months, and I don't even know where in the world he is. At least he comes home every weekend. And when he's home, and this goes back to you, you were present when you were here. You didn't come home and I got to watch football and sit on the couch. You went out and played with the kids, and you didn't even know how to use the remote.
Well, there are three of them, so come on.
So it wasn't like you came home and you weren't present. You were completely and fully present and engaged with the family when you were here. So to your great benefit, there was no like you came home, we catered to you or whatever. You kind of came home and catered to us, and what could I do for the family and how could I help the family? So that was very beneficial. But I think keeping the perspective, and then, phone calls to my parents or to you, or like, I'm losing it here. I think you have to take a break as a parent. I think the hardest part was, like, you would always say to me, go on a girls' weekend or go away, because you knew I needed a break from the kids. But the last thing I wanted to do on the weekend was be away from you. So for me, it was better when you and I would go away on a trip, because then I'd get a break from the home and the kids and stuff. And so I think taking time for yourself, super, super important. Knowing what you need to do to stay sane. I mean, it's really important. And one of the things that I think a lot of people do in our society today is we don't ask other people to help us. And there's usually a lot of people that will help you. Hey, even if it's just calling a friend saying, I need to go out of the house, let's just go get tea or whatever. Or it's saying, hey, you're a friend of mine, can you watch my kid? And I need a break. Like, when you tell people I need a break, they'll usually give it to you. I think a lot of people want to be needed, but a lot of people don't want to ask for help. So we have a little bit of an imbalance. And I think young moms, that comes up a lot. So.
Very good. In today's society, even, probably young moms aren't supposed to ask for help. They're supposed to do it all.
Right. I struggled with that. I mean, I was a young mom, so I'm 44 today. Yes, I'm going to spill my age because my son is 22 today. So he's exactly the same age that I was when I had him. So at 22, I was a very young mom. Tim was not 22 when that son was born.
Big surprise.
But I was a young mom, and it was like, I'm supposed to figure everything out and do everything and have it all together. And frankly, you don't. You just don't. I mean, nothing prepares you for everything that you've got to do when it comes to your kids. And, you're not. I took on little jobs and things. I was the consultant. I would sell things, the cooking products and stuff, just because I needed a break from the house. So
good.
You got to keep your sanity. I mean, some of us are not meant to spend 24 hours a day with our children.
And those that are?
God bless you. Yeah.
Very good, hon.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
That's what we got.
Sage advice.
Awesome. So if you have a question that you'd love for me to ask Tim or for Tim to ask me, please send us an email to timandnicolechats@gmail.com. And you can always follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we look forward to chatting with you again next week. Bye for now.
Take care. We're gonna get a job.
Timothy, you're disgusting.
Yeah, I hope that's not in film. Oh my God.
So blaming you for that.
Don't believe it. Welcome to Tim and Nick Chats. They're really fun. Life, love, relationships. Blah.
You're such a weirdo.
Welcome to Tim and Nick Chats, where
You're learning to flip a coin.
I get to speak my mind.